Hi everyone. Welcome to week 13 of our Comp 2 class, English 2767. Hopefully last week, there wasn't a lot of work due last week. Hopefully that gave you a chance to either relax a little bit or perhaps get ahead on some of your other assignments. This week there is a fair amount to do. First of all, you're going to need to complete discussion board 12 by Wednesday. That is right here. I would like you to respond to this prompt. If you enjoy a particular STEM field, what draws you to that field? Are you going to make a career out of it? Why or why not? And if you don't particularly like STEM fields, why don't you? What has gotten in your way of enjoying a particular STEM field? And then your reply posts are due Sunday. You just need to respond to at least two of your classmates. Homework 10, Journal 5, and your annotated bibliography for Project 3 are all due by Sunday. Let's take a look at those things. The annotated bibliography, this is worth 15% of your course grade, so I'd make sure to give it its due diligence. We have 3 steps here. You're going to find 6 to 10 credible sources. You're going to read and annotate your sources, and you're going to compile your sources into an annotated bibliography. For finding your sources, you can use primary or secondary sources. A primary source is going to be research that you conduct yourself, or perhaps I should say data that you gather yourself. So if you do an interview, if you do observations, if you do a survey, if you were to design some sort of experiment, that would be primary research. Secondary research is going to be research that someone else has they've taken the data, they've gathered the data themselves, and they have synthesized it or analyzed it for you. So secondary research is going to be things like articles and journals and maybe videos, documentaries, books. So that's the difference between primary and secondary sources if you weren't already aware. You can use a mix in this project. You are not required to do primary research, but you can if you would like. I would recommend using the Columbus State Library database Academic Search Complete, but you are welcome to find your sources in whatever way you see fit. For step 2, you're going to read your sources and take notes on them. We have a link here that gives you some information about good ways to take notes on research. So if you've never done an annotated bibliography, if you've never taken extensive notes on sources that you have collected, I would read through these 3 steps. And then your third step, you're going to make an annotated bibliography. To get you started, you can use one of these citation generators. I do recommend double checking to make sure that these citations that they generate are correct. I don't think I've ever seen a citation generator that has been 100% accurate. So you always want to, it's a good place to get you started. It'll do a lot of the work for you, but you do want to make sure that they are accurate. And then for each source, you're going to add 2 paragraphs after each citation. One paragraph is going to be a summary of the article. And in order to write a good summary, you really need to read the whole article. So make sure that you're choosing your sources wisely. The second paragraph that you're going to write for each source is a relevance paragraph, which is going to explain how you think, why you think the source might be useful to you for writing Project 3. This paragraph should also talk a little bit about what makes the source credible. Should explain what it will be able to help you with as you craft our third writing project. We have an example of an annotated bibliography here if you follow this link. So this gives you a bit of an overview of what annotated bibliographies are. If you scroll down past the MLA one, you will find a sample APA annotated bibliography. So you'll notice that they have the source citation here, and then they have a paragraph summarizing the source, and then a paragraph explaining how the source might be useful to the writer. For homework 10, you're going to write a one-page double-space response to the article about the plague. You'll find that down here. The next plague is coming. Go ahead and open that up for you just to check the link. So it's an article in the Atlantic. You'll be reading this and responding to it. Journal 5, you're going to consider this quote: "The world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper." And you're going to write a one-page double-space response to that quote. There's a poetic meaning of this, but is there also a practical way of looking at this quote? How might we use this quote as a guide as we move forward in STEM fields? That is all for this week. I will add that I have started grading your papers. The last time we turned papers in, I graded your class first. This time I graded one of my other classes first, and then I started grading yours recently. My goal is to get those back to you by the end of the week at the latest. If you have any questions or concerns, or you want me to help you with anything, just let me know, and I'd be glad to be of assistance.